If you live in Greenville, finding a great dog trainer can really change the game for you and your best friend. So today, we're going to talk about how to find that right person to help you and your dog enjoy everything the city has to offer, without all the stress. So if you're a dog owner here, you already know Greenville has its own unique mix of adventures and, yeah, some challenges. The question is your dog really ready to take it all on with you? And that's the whole point, isn't it? Being able to walk the Swamp Rabbit Trail with confidence, handle the crowds on Main Street on a Saturday, or just chill at a cafe without worrying. Good training is what makes all of that stuff actually fun. Okay, let's get into why having a dog with good manners is so helpful for getting around the places we all know and love here in town. I mean, just think about it. Good training lets you have a nice, calm walk through Falls Park without your dog lunging at every single thing that moves. It means they can stay focused next to you on the Swamp Rabbit Trail, even when bikes are flying by. This kind of stuff makes all the difference when you're trying to get through the West End on a busy night, or just want to bring your dog along to a game at Floor Field. So, how do you actually find someone who can help you get to that point? Let's break down what you should be looking for and maybe a few red flags that mean you should keep looking. First things first, and this is a big one, you really want a trainer who uses positive reinforcement. And no, that's not just about bribing your dog with treats. It's an approach based on how dogs actually learn. It uses rewards to build trust and create behaviors that really last. It works, and it's kind to your dog. Okay, so how can you tell if someone actually knows what they're doing? Well, the dog training industry isn't regulated, so pretty much anyone can print up business cards and call themselves a trainer. That's why checking for credentials is so useful. They're a quick way to see that a trainer has put in the work, studied, and passed exams. Now, you don't have to memorize this whole alphabet soup, but it's good to recognize some of these letters. Something like CPDTKA or KPA-CTP, those are pretty common for general obedience and manners. If you're dealing with bigger things like fear or anxiety, you'd want to look for a specialist with an IABCCDBC. And for more serious stuff like aggression, a CBCCKA is what you'd be looking for. Next up, think about the format. In-home training can be amazing for things that happen right in your home, like going crazy when the doorbell rings or learning not to jump on guests. Group classes, on the other hand, are the perfect place to practice focusing around distractions, like other dogs and people. That's a skill you'll use all the time in a city like this. All right, so you found a few trainers who look promising. Now it's time to actually talk to them. Having a handful of questions ready to go will really help you feel confident about who you hire. Here are the big ones you'll want to cover. First, just ask them flat out about their training methods. You're listening for positive reinforcement. Then ask about their credentials and education. A good trainer will be happy to talk about it. You'll also want to know how they plan to customize things for your specific dog. It shouldn't be a one-size-fits-all program. And ask how you'll both know you're making progress. Of course, get all the costs and any cancellation policies in writing. And finally, especially for serious behavior stuff, see if they're willing to work with your vet. That's a really good sign. Okay, let's talk about money. Knowing what the going rates are for dog training here in Greenville helps you budget and also helps you spot a price that seems maybe a little too good to be true. And just remember, these costs are going to vary a bit. A trainer with tons of experience in complex behavior cases is, going to cost more than a basic puppy manners class. How long the sessions are and where they happen also affects the price. So let's take a look at the numbers. A typical group puppy class for a few weeks might be in that $150 to $250 range. Private lessons, where it's just you and the trainer, are usually between $100 and $180 an hour. And then you have the more intensive options like a board and train, and you can see that's a much bigger investment. This should give you a pretty good idea of what to expect. So once the training starts, the real work begins. It's not just about what happens in the session, it's about taking those new skills out into the real world. And luckily, Greenville has some awesome spots to practice. The Swamp Rabbit Trail is just perfect for working on walking nicely on a leash with bikes and people going by. The trails up at Paris Mountain State Park are fantastic for practicing recalls, with all sorts of new smells and sounds, and Discovery Island is just another great place to build up your dog's confidence. Now, for off-leash stuff, you absolutely need a safe, fenced-in area. The dog parks over at Conisty Nature Preserve and Timmins Park are both great options for that. A little tip, when you're just starting, try to go when it's not super crowded. And really, this is what it all comes down to. The sessions with your trainer are where you learn the skills, but practicing them every day out in the real world is what makes them stick. Consistency really is everything. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. A well-behaved dog makes every single part of your life better. Every walk through Falls Park, every time you see a neighbor, every afternoon you want to sit on a patio. It just makes everything easier and more fun for you, for your dog, and for everyone around you. Happy training.